In this video, we're going to learn how to write Tibetan alphabet 21 through 24. Nishutsakji 21, Nishutsangni 22, Nishutsaksum 23, and Nishutsapshi 24. So it's Nishutsakji, Nishutsangni, Nishutsaksum, Nishutsapshi 21, 22, 23, and 24. So that's number 2, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 4. And the 21st letter is Sha. And these are the steps. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. Step 3, and then step 4. So this is Sha. And the next letter is Sa. And these are the steps. Step 1. Step 2. Step 3. And step 4. So this is Sa. And the next letter is Ha. And step 1, Yingo, or the letterhead. Step 2. And step 3. So that's Ha. Let me try it again. Letterhead, Yingo. Step 2 and step 3. As you can see, this is a little shorter than this one. Okay, so this is Ha, Sha, Sa, Ha. Now the 24th letter is Ya. And let me change the color. Oops. Step 1. Step 2. And step 3. That's Ya. Followed by Sakdong. Excusez-moi. Okay, so this is Sha, Sa, Ha, Ya. And so this one is pretty close to S H A. I've also seen people write it as Z H A, but this is pronounced as sha, not sha or za. This is sha, but in English this is the closest one we could find. Sha, like as in shamu, like washa. From the previous video, if you remember, we did the fox hat, a hat meaning sha. So this is sha, and then this is sa, and this one I've seen people write it as ZA. I think that's pretty close. Actually, this is not za, but rather sa. This is a really tough one. I've seen people write something like that. Basically, this is pronounced as ha, ha, and not ah. So this is ah, and then this one is easy. It's a piece of cake. Ya, Y-A, ya. Okay, so this is, once again, we're gonna do it one more time. Sha, sa, ah, ya. And then now we'll do the examples. So I'll have 2 for each. 2 here. 2 here. And then 2 here. And 2 here. Okay, so example for the first one, we could say I'm following the same steps here, and I want you guys to see if you guys can remember these letters now. Now we are all the way through letter number 24, and most of the letters in these words are letters that you have already learned. So for now, I'm not going to read the letters. I want you to give it a shot. Okay, so S, and when I'm writing, if you could see, if you could guess. See if you can read these. You have already learned. Just a hint, this is one of the vowel, and these are the letters we have already covered. And then the second example, oops, it's a little bit too thin. These are all the letters we have already learned. So before I read the whole thing, I want you guys to see if you guys can make an educated guess. Okay, so the next example is the letter is sa, and the example we have here is, oops, and that's the second letter. Oops. And this is the fourth letter, and the other example is, I think I could draw it better if I do it this way. Now this one you haven't learned it yet, but I'll explain after I finish writing everything. So keep trying to see if you can pronounce these or recognize the letters. And then this is ha, and the first example we have is, this is one of the vowel. And then the second example is excuse me. And then the 24th letter, ya. And the example we have here is the first example. And these are all the letters you have covered, you have learned from the previous videos. Okay, see if you guys can remember these words. I mean these letters. Okay. Okay, so these are the examples. So the first one is, I'm hoping you have recognized all these letters and see if you have tried it earlier, see if it matches now. Okay, so the first letter, the first word is sha, ka, shak, ca. See the extra stroke right there? That's ca, right? Without this, it's cha, ca. And this is one of the vowel, kigu. This is I. I think in the first video we said this could be either E, I, and sometimes Y. So basically this is sha, ka, ca, I. So it's shaka, shak, ca, kigu, ci, shakci. Shakci meaning fatty, too much fat in food, or oily food. But I really like oily food for whatever reason. Okay, so this is shak ci, even though it's not healthy. So it's fatty or oily. That's what shak ci means. And then the next example is sha kigu, and this is the fourth letter, nga, sha kigu shinga shing pa, sha kigu shi nga shing pa. So actually when you spell, that's how you should write also. So generally you don't write it like this. Like you write sha first and then nga and then kigu. If you do like that, you might forget to write either vowels or whatever goes at the top or at the bottom. So generally, however you say it or spell it, that's how you should write it. So basically this would be, first you write sha kigu shi nga shing. Now that's how it should be. So this is sha I nga shing. And if you have noticed, when I was writing this earlier in English, I think I did like this, F-A, I went like this, and then I go like that, right? So there are chances I may forget this stroke. Same thing here. So just write it as you pronounce it or as you say it. Okay, so let's get rid of that. Okay, so that's Xingba. Xingba means farmer. F-A-R-M-E-R. Farmer. And then if you put this letter up here instead of ba, if you put ka, then it becomes Xingga. Xingga meaning farm. Okay, so it's just a bonus word. Xingba, Xingka. Xingga meaning farm. And then Xingba is Xingba means farmer. Okay, so the next letter is sa, not za. This is sa. Sa, ka, nga, kang, sakang. Sakang means restaurant. R-E-S-T-A-U-R-A-N-T. Restaurant. Okay. And then the next letter is, now this one we haven't covered it yet, but in the future videos you'll see these. So these goes at the bottom. There are like 4 of these that goes at the bottom of a letter, and this is one of those. So there's something called yata, rada, labda, and wasu. So this is the third one. This is called lata. So sa, labda, da, wa, dawa. Sa, labda, da, wa, dawa. Dawa meaning moon. M-O-O-N, moon. Okay, now the next letter is, the next letter is ha, not ah. Ha. Okay, so this is ha, naro, ho. This is o, right? That's one of the vowel. Ha, naro, ho, ma, homa, ho, ma. Homa meaning milk. Okay, homa meaning milk. Now the next example is ha, naro. Same as this one. I have to write it a little at an angle since I have this piece coming here, pointing here. So that's why I have to go up a little bit. But generally you would have pretty much at this angle. Okay, so this is ha, naro, ta, u. So it's ha, o, ta, u. U meaning light. So u meaning when you say sunlight, so that's nime, nime u. When you say moonlight, so that would be dawe u. Dawa is moon. When you say dawe, it's kind of like apostrophe s, like you could say Tashi's car. So showing that car belongs to Tashi. So same thing, the light belongs to the moon. So sunlight, dawe u. Or dawe u, moonlight. Sunlight would be nima, nyakigu ni, ma, nima. And then the next letter is ya, and then the example we have here is yama. Yama, I was told it is, actually I asked my sister what we call yama in English, and I was told it's sinus. When stuff goes crazy between your eyes and ear, I think. That's what I read somewhere. Okay, so basically yama means sinus. And then the last example is ya, mao, ca, na, chen. Now this is a prefix, we have not covered so far. We have 5 of these, like the letter ka, ta, pa, ma, ah. We have 5 of these that act as a prefix, and it could go before certain selected few alphabets. So this is one of those. So mo, ta, na, ten. So that's how you say. You don't say ma on this. Normally you'll say for prefix, the 5 prefix we have, I think it's ka. So for the ka we'll say kao, ta, tao, pa, pao, ma, mo, and then ha, ao. So it's ka, ta, pa, ma, ha. So this is mo, ta, na, ten, ya, ten. Yaten means I would say generally yaten means surprise, surprisingly interesting. So I don't know that I'm gonna have enough room here. No, probably not. Okay, so let me try here. So this would be, so this means surprisingly surprisingly interesting, surprisingly interesting. So that's what yaten means. Okay, so these are the letter number. So these are letter 21 through 24, and we have 2 examples for each of these. Okay, so we'll try to read it one more time, and the examples also. So this is sha, sa, ah, ya, and then the examples are shaka, shak, ta, kiguchi, shak, chi, meaning fatty or oily. Generally for food, it applies to food, I think. And then the next example is shakigu, shinga, shingba, meaning farmer. And then this is sa, kanga, kang, sakang, restaurant. Sa, lapta, da, wa, dawa. Now this is a really totally new, and it's kind of hard to pronounce. If you look at the letter, it doesn't look like it's going to sound like that, but that's what it sounds like. So it's salapta da, wa, dawa, meaning moon, and ha, naro ho, ma, oma, and then milk, hanaro, ha, naro, uta, meaning light, ya, ma, yama, meaning sinus, ya, mo, ta, na, ten, yaten, meaning surprisingly interesting. Okay, so in these examples, I know I have covered this in some of the previous videos, but since there is no punctuation mark between the letter sha and the ka, so that's why this should be read as one. So it's shaka, shak, like just one syllable. Because if there is a punctuation mark, which is tsakmung over here, then this would be shakati, but that's not the case. So this should be read as shakti. And if you can remember this vowel up there, this is always read as e, and in English the closest the closest one would be e, as when you say eagle. So that means this has to be this vowel has to be used. E, I. If you say ink, I-N-K, so that has to be this vowel right there. So E, I, and sometimes Y, right? Just like here, fatty, oily, y. So that's why I was saying earlier this could be used as E, I, or sometimes Y. So that's exactly, see, we have a Y here and we have another Y here. So that's what this Q is pronounced as E. And then same thing here. And I think that's pretty much it for this lesson. So in the next video, I'll try to see if I could squeeze in all 6 letters, because that's all there's left now. We have 6 more alphabets to go, and then we are done with the 30 alphabets. So until then, keep practicing. Just grab a piece of paper, pencil, and or a pen, and then just follow the steps here, and just step by step. Step 2, step 3, step 4. It can get clearer than this, so if you follow the steps, you should be able to write pretty close to this, or maybe even better, which is good. So so in the next in the next video, we'll do Ra, La, Sha, Sa, Ha, Ah. Those 6, the final 6 alphabets. Until then, if possible, help others. If not, at least restrain from harming others. Thank you.